Joe, I think folks are really going to love our next segment.
Everybody likes to talk about the headlines and the hot topics of the day. That's right up our alley.
It is, and I also know that there are times when news reporters wish they had just a little bit more time to cover a story.
So this is your chance to learn a little bit more about the stories beyond just the sound bites.
So let's talk hot topics.
Tell us a little bit about what's going on Lozier Lane and kind of what's going to change on that little stretch of road, I think from Main Street really to Stewart.
Lozier Lane is typical of a lot of county roads. Basically, it was a road built in the 1920s, 1930s, basically for Model Ts. It's narrow, it has no shoulders, no sidewalks. It's a very rural type facility inside the city limits. And so if you look at North Ross Lane, just to the north of it, that has a lane north and south, a center turn lane, bike lanes, curb gutter and sidewalk. That's what Lozier is going to look like. It's going to look exactly like North Ross Lane, so that will just continue. And that project's going from West Main down to Stewart.
So, and has it started?
And the project has started. It's actually starting with a little side street on Prune Street and making some improvements to Prune Street first, and that's going to facilitate a detour around Lozier while that's under construction. Then when that's done, then they're going to get started on digging up Lozier and starting that project.
Good, and you're talking with the neighbors and all that sort of stuff, and just kind of how do you communicate with the people that kind of live in that area about what's going to happen?
You know, on a project like this, the neighbors aren't surprised because we, on this project, we had to acquire right-of-way from both sides of the road from every single property owner along the whole route. And so, we're working with them on the right-of-way purchase process, and then we're keeping them informed throughout regarding what the status of the project is, when it's going to start, what this week's impacts are, etc. So they're being kept informed.
Good, and all things being great and coming together the way they're supposed to. How long will this project projected to last?
It should last 1 year. And then hopefully we'll be out of there. So this summer will not be pleasant on Lozier Lane. I don't want to try to sugarcoat it. My recommendation is take Columbus and take a different route. And there's a little bit of our self-interest in that too. If you get out of our way, the contractor can work quicker. And so the less traffic, the better. And get in, get out, and get out of the way.
So there's another project that certainly has been high profile for a while, and I know it's not our project, but I know it influences a lot of the county roads, and that's the Highway 62 bypass project. Tell us a little bit about that one and what Jackson County's role is.
The Highway 62 bypass has been around for a long time, and it's been a project that's been talked about for 20 plus years. And well, it's finally coming to fruition. And the county served on the project development team, so we are actually on the team that helped select the alignment. We had a major voice at the table during the development of the project, and but now the project is underway, and it's being led by the state. When the project's done, the county is actually going to receive the old section of Highway 62. So the current Highway 62 will become a county facility and a city facility. So the portion within the city limits goes to Medford. The portion in the county comes to the county. So we're going to get the old route, and then we work with them because they're cutting off some county roads and turning them into cul-de-sacs and some other things, and we'll manage those when the project's complete.
What was the reason why we needed a bypass?
So Highway 62 was basically terminally ill. Development had occurred on both sides of the street to a level that there was no easy solution to try to remedy that. You could add more lanes and it would still be congested. And so a variety of alternatives were looked at on how to solve that problem, and basically a bypass was the answer to where those businesses can be served with the existing facility, and all the people wanting to make a through trip can get on the through route.
Good, and we have a lot of people coming from out in Eagle Point and that stuff coming into work in Medford.
So. Exactly. The traffic number showed basically it's a 50-50 split. Half the people on Highway 62 want to go to a destination on the highway, and half basically want to get to Medford to get to the freeway and don't want to stop. And so the half that didn't want to stop were being inconvenienced by a whole bunch of signals and a whole bunch of people making left turns, and it became very congested and backed up, and this should help solve it.